Hey folks, I'm at the Crescent Meadow area again in Sequoia National Park, and going to do the Huckleberry Meadow loop today. The Huckleberry Meadow is just a very small part of it, but that's what this loop is called. And along with that, we're going to do the Hazelwood Nature Trail, which adds about a mile to the loop. No map for you, sorry. We'll get that later maybe. I'll try. Let's get started. This is Crescent Meadow. With lots of mosquitoes around. Make sure you bring your repellent. Alright, 0.7 miles to Chimney Tree and just 0.8 miles to Huckleberry Meadow. Some nice sequoias right around the meadow. Some more nice trees. That was cool. I've never seen a weasel in the wild before. Alright, this intersection will start us on our loop for Huckleberry Meadow. As you can see, go to the left. These lupine flowers are just all over the place. Huckleberry Meadow. It's a smaller one. These trees ahead have some fire scars, and this one has a hole in it. This is Squatter's Cabin near Huckleberry Meadow. Tiny little place. Let you freeze that if you want. We're going to the Alta Trail now. But no, I think we'll go to the Dead Giant first. 0.2 miles to the Dead Giant, and then we'll come back and take this right to Alta Trail. There's a view of the meadow. And more of these lupine flowers that are just everywhere. Bumblebees everywhere. No honeybees, just bumblebees. This is a bigger meadow than it looked from one angle. And here's our Dead Giant straight ahead. Not so exciting. Just so you don't think there's only lupines on the trail, these flowers are pretty common, really pretty, bright. They like the sun, so they're in exposed areas. The lupines like the shade, apparently. These are all along the trail and up the hillside. There are also Indian paintbrush along the trail. I'm not so fond of these here in California. They're kind of scraggly. In Colorado, they're a little more vibrant. And here's another type of flower that's prevalent. Each of these flowers seems to have its own particular desires as far as climate, shade, wetness. Lots of ferns in places. You're going to be mostly alone on this walk, which is nice for some. Most, I would think. Very kind of primeval. Alright, here's our intersection. Huckleberry Meadow Trail and the meadow we just came from. We don't want to go that way. Congress Trail is 1.2 miles. Alta Peak, 9.2 miles. We aren't going there. The museum, I'm going to have to check my map. Because the Hazelwood Trail is near the museum, and this may be the Hazelwood Nature Trail. So let's do some looking. Okay, if you want to continue on the Huckleberry Meadow Loop Trail, you'll take a right here. Go that way. If you want to do the Hazelwood Loop Nature Trail, you'll take a left and go toward the museum. We're not going all the way to the museum, but close. So we're going to take 3 rights. The third right is going to be the Nature Trail. That'll be a small loop, and then we'll come back up this way. It's, like I said, about a mile adding on to the trip. Here's a pretty unnamed meadow filled with ferns. Alright, here's the Hazelwood Nature Trail. Remember, this is the 3rd intersection after leaving the last one we talked about. They're really straights, even though they're also rights, I guess, but they're straights. This goes either way. Nice group of young trees straight ahead. This Hazelwood Nature Trail is smooth and flat, but there are no interpretive signs on it. There is no guidebook, there are no posts, which mostly you get when you go to a nature trail. Tells you what trees are, what flowers are. So there's a dogwood in its last throes of blooming. This is on the Hazelwood Nature Trail. So if it were me, I would skip this Hazelwood Nature Trail. Not much need for it. Unless you start the Huckleberry Meadow Loop from the giant forest, then you can take it to get onto the loop, which is what I did from the Crescent Meadow area, using the Crescent Meadow Trail to get onto the loop. You can do it either way you want to do it. Might be better parking at the giant forest depending on what time of day you come. So let's get back to our Huckleberry Meadow Loop. This stuff is called cow's parsnip, and it can have a reaction for some people, usually mild, but like some like poison ivy or something, but very, very mild. So best to stay away from it. Back on the loop, you climb for quite a while. Nice group of trees here. The other side of that sign says this is Indian bedrock mortars, which this is where they would pound their mill. Well, we climbed for almost a mile and to our next trail junction. It wasn't too difficult to climb. Now we're going to the Washington Tree, continue our loop, taking a right here. If you went left, you'd get to the Congress Trail, not too far up the way. Some nice trees right in front of us. Haven't seen many trees for the last mile. Big group of sequoias here. Here's the Washington Tree, which used to be the second biggest tree in the world until it got blasted by lightning. Alright, the next trail junction. You can go down 0.1 mile to see Bear's Bathtub if you want. If you go to Bear's Bathtub, you'll see Circle Meadow. And I saw a bear there yesterday. We're going to go right though, and we will see some of Circle Meadow and head on to Crescent Meadow. Here's a part of Circle Meadow. Just a short ways down, there's a trail that goes off to the right. You want to stay left, stay alongside Circle Meadow. There's no trail sign here. Let's stay along the meadow. Here's a bridge to get you across the meadow, but we're not going that way. We're going to continue on this side of the meadow. One last look at Circle Meadow. And now we have our final trail sign. So, back to Crescent Meadow this way. We'll finish up the loop. We came from the Alta Trail. Cattle Cabin is a great place to go. Ooh, a weasel. See it? Yeah, we didn't go there, but Cattle Cabin is a great place to go. The Founders Group in that area is beautiful. So that was the Huckleberry Meadow loop in Sequoia National Park. It's a 5-mile loop, 6 miles if you add on the Hazelwood Nature Trail. So, thanks for watching The Lazy Hiker, and enjoy your hike.
Hey, would you like some quesadillas too?
All right, the route we took today was from Crescent Meadow. Here, Huckleberry Meadow, Huckleberry Trail. Came down here, went to the Hazelwood Loop, came back, Alta Trail, bedrock mortars, Washington trees right there, all the way back down here and back to our home. So that was Huckleberry Trail.